It is Saturday, March 19th in the NBA, and I'm back with my two favorite plays of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Quick recap from yesterday, our third straight profitable day in the NBA. Our best bet of the day, Nikola Jokic does cash. We did need overtime, but the Joker would never hurt us. And then we added a 1.5 unit play. I talked about it in the video. Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds, easily cashes in the third quarter. I believe we're 8-2 on our 1.5 unit plays this year, so very good for the most confident plays we have. Spencer Dinwiddie and Pascal Siakam let us down, but like I said, that 1.5 unit play does carry us into the profit land. Either way, we'll take some profit. It could have been a much better day, but hopefully we can go for a 2-0 sweep today. If you are new to the Calling Our Shot channel, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. We're trying to grind towards 29,000 subscribers. We're doing these videos every single day. We appreciate you for joining the community. It's 100% free. Also, drop a like down below. It's Saturday. Let's make some money on the weekend. Now, shout out again to our COS All-Stars, the people that really support us more than anyone else, and we really appreciate you. Vostro and Daniel, our two newest All-Stars, joining back the community. We appreciate it. If you want to support us, click the join button on the channel or click the link in the description and the pinned comment. Only costs $2.99 a month. You get some cool emojis, you get the plays early, and you get a bunch of other cool perks. So we appreciate it. If you want to do it, click the join button or click the link in the description. Let's waste no more time. We only got 4 games on today. Don't want to force anything too much today. There's a lot of teams. I'll talk about each game at the end that I don't talk about with my official plays, but I don't love betting on a lot of these teams. So let's get into it. We'll start with the best bet of the day. Karl-Anthony Towns, under 10.5 rebounds, -110 on DraftKings. Now, I know Cat has been beasting recently, scored 60 points and followed that up with a 30-point performance, and Cat can score as many points as he wants today. I just don't want him to, I'm asking for no rebounds, and that's something Cat is familiar with. Now, Cat, if you look at the surface level, you'd see he's actually gone over this line in 5 of his last 7 games, so you're like, Austin, why are we betting an under on a guy that's hit this over pretty frequently? But if you look at the matchups, he better have hit the over against the teams he's been playing, because he's played the Spurs, the Magic, the Thunder, and the Blazers. Those are the 4 teams he hit his over against. He played the Blazers twice, hence why he's hit it in 5 of his last 7. And those teams, if you were to, in no particular order, over the last 7 games have allowed the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th most rebounds per game to opposing centers. You look at the games all season long, they're right up at the top 10 in terms of rebounds allowed to the opposing centers. Now, on the flip side, a team that has not allowed a lot of rebounds to centers, the Milwaukee Bucks, because over the last 7 games, the Bucks allowed the fewest rebounds per game to opposing centers, and that's just not a 7-game sample size on the season. The Bucks allowed the 2nd fewest rebounds per game to opposing centers. I believe the Nuggets are number 1 at allowing the fewest. Now, you look at it in 60 games played this season, Bucks only allowed 14 centers to have 11-plus rebounds against them. Those are the guys like Rudy Gobert, the guys like Clint Capella, those guys that are known for rebounding the ball. Only 14 of them have gotten over this line. Now, only 7 of them since the start of 2022. And look, Cat, we know there's 2 things he loves to do. 1, sometimes he's not really that aggressive trying to grab rebounds. That's the guy that's sometimes he just looks at it and just watches it fly by him. And number 2, this guy also prone to foul trouble. He'll be having the Greek Freak coming into the lane for him. And look, it's not just like you look at his games against the Bucks. Earlier this season, they've only played once. They obviously they don't play too often. Cat played 38 minutes. No foul trouble, 38 minutes action, 3 rebounds. Now, that is something Cat is a frequent flyer too, because these 2 teams played last February. Cat played 36 minutes in that one, no foul trouble. He had 8 rebounds in this one. Now, like I said, they don't play a whole lot. The last time they did play prior to those games was October 2018. Still a game. You saw Cat 7 rebounds, and he avoided foul trouble in all these games, which is sometimes like a thing that can prohibit him from getting his 35-ish minutes a game. And look, like I said, Giannis will be coming down the lane. If you want to foul him or you want to let him score, I promise you, please let him score easily if you want. Give him an and one, because maybe we'll have a prop on Giannis in a second. But the last thing I wanted to look at was Cat's performance against teams that are in the bottom 10 in terms of rebounds. So teams that don't allow a lot of rebounds per game to opposing centers. And look, I could read off every single one, but all in all, he's gone under in 17 of 22 games against teams that allow the top 10 fewest centers rebounds in the league. He's averaged 8.5 rebounds per game against those teams. And look, the Bucks he's 0-1 against. The Nuggets, a team that allow the fewest, 0-3 against. Look, Sixers allow the 4th fewest, 0-2 against them. The Pelicans allow the 5th fewest. He's 1-3 against them. Look, I don't need to go time in and time out against those. I like the odds. Sharper books have this under at -133, so a little bit of a plus expected value bet. Look, there's going to be a ton of factors that can go against him in here. One is the high over-under game, so maybe we don't see a lot of missed shots. And look, the Timberwolves aren't known for their defense, so the Bucks could have their way with them. And so I'm gonna take Cats on under 10.5 rebounds, best bet of the day, and I'm gonna ride with it. And I know it's an under. I don't love betting unders, but I like this one today. I don't think he's grabbing a ton of boards. So let's move on to my next play of the day. And man, oh man, there's a reason we're wearing this shirt. Because we're taking Giannis, and we're taking his over 44.5 points plus rebounds, minus 115 on DraftKings. The Greek Freak would never hurt us, and we're riding with him today. Now, I forgot to mention, this is a 5 p.m. Eastern tip-off, so it is an earlier tip-off. Normally we're at like 7 or 8 p.m. tip-off. This is an earlier one, so if you're watching this video after the fact, hopefully these two guys are treating us nicely. But look, we're wearing the Giannis shirt, we're in the Greek Freak shirt, and let me answer a couple of your questions. Number one, it's good at 45.5. I like it at that line too. I believe FanDuel has it at 45.5. Now, number two, if you need an individual stat, truthfully, I think the rebounds might be the best. I think he might get 15 to 17 rebounds today. Now, his points line is 32.5. Don't mind that. I mean, all the lines are high for a reason. PRA is 50.5 and 51.5. Not too bad with that either. He hasn't had, a lot of assists in his most recent games, but does have a good track record for assists against this Timberwolves team. But now let's hop into why I'm on the Greek Freak today. Now, Giannis has been cooking as of late. I mean, over his last 5 games, hit the over in 4 of them with 46, 45, 39, 55, and 46 points plus rebounds. He's faced some tough defenses in the Jazz and the Warriors, and you could see this line looked pretty sharp at 44.5. I believe FanDuel has it at 45.5, and he's had 46 or 45 in 3 of those games. But Giannis still pushed through, and that's what he does. He does it for the people, and I love this matchup for him. Now, for starters, we hope this game is close because the Bucks really haven't been blowing out a ton of teams today, and the Timberwolves have blown out some teams pretty sporadic, but the sportsbooks have this line set at Bucks minus 3.5, so that's a good sign that we should get a close game. Over under 243.5 points, by far the highest on the slate, and this can be a fast-paced game. Both these teams play first, and the Timberwolves are first in pace. Bucks not far behind him at 8th, and they've been playing faster as of late. And now Giannis has a terrific track record against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's his last 4 games against them. 40 points and 16 rebounds, 37-8, 32-17, and 34-15. So 56, 45, 49, and 49 points plus rebounds, cashing in all 4 of the games. Now the crazy part about that, 3 of those games, the last 3 when he had 45, 49, and 49, he played 29, 31, and 27 minutes. The guy's barely playing his normal minutes. He's not barely. He's not playing his normal minutes. They're blowouts, and he's still hitting the line. That's how ridiculous Giannis has been against his Timberwolves team. Now, the one game he actually got up to his normal 33 to 36 minutes was the game this year when he played 35 minutes and had 56 points plus rebounds in that one. And that game, for something to compare, that game only finished with a combined score of 221. The sportsbook's projected at 243 today, so a lot more points to go around. Now, Drew Holiday did not play in that game, so it might be why you see his assists a little bit up, but I don't think that's going to take away a lot of Giannis shots today. Drew Holiday is the guy that likes to get Giannis the ball in the paint, and then we know Giannis can dunk on anyone. Now, lastly, I liked his rebounds because, like I said, Karl-Anthony Towns, he will be, obviously, we're rooting for no rebounds for Karl-Anthony Towns, but Cat's going to likely be guarded by Bobby Portis to start the game, and that's good for us because that leaves Giannis on Jared Vanderbilt or whoever they start at the 4, maybe a McDaniels, maybe a Naz Reid. Either of those guys, I'm fine with because neither of those guys really shoot the ball a whole lot, and like Giannis, if he's guarding Jared Vanderbilt, that's perfect because Vanderbilt is the guy that's afraid to shoot the basketball, not a guy that shoots it all too much. And we know Cat likes to camp out on the perimeter, shoot the ball a bunch, and that'll be good, taking Bobby Portis out of the paint, leaving Giannis as the only primary rebounder down there for him. Now, look, Giannis, all we're asking for, this isn't asking for much, just 40 points, 15 rebounds, cash all the lines for the people. We're not asking for too much. That's just something, the Greek Freak, this is what he does. And hopefully he hits us over in just points alone. This is something he's capable of. He could drop 50 points on the Timberwolves. That wouldn't surprise me. And I don't really see the Timberwolves double teaming him. They could, but I don't see it happening. You don't really want to let the Bucks shoot a ton of threes. They're going to beat you with the 3-point line too. So I like Giannis, and as always, we got to say, tonight, we're getting Greek freaky, so we're riding with Giannis over 44.5 points plus rebounds. I love all his lines, 45.5 good, and like I said, PRA is good as well. If I had to take an individual line, I like his rebounds a tad more than the points, but I think he cashes all of them. Now, I wanted to look at the other games because you might be watching this video after 5 p.m., after tip-off. So let's talk about the other games on the slate and what I leaned for. None of these will be official plays. I'm not going to add any plays at all today. So the Giannis and the Karl-Anthony Towns are my 2 plays of the day, but let's talk about the Hornets versus the Mavericks. We're in Charlotte. I lean the Mavericks minus 1.5 as my spread pick of the day. Now, I'm not going to make that an official play because I don't like betting spreads. You saw what happened in college basketball. Though my college basketball play yesterday would have hit, but we didn't put it out there. But like the Mavericks, unless they rest guys, I think they bounce back in a win here. They did lose by 10 points yesterday to the Sixers. Didn't play well, so I think they bounce back in a win here. Now the Hornets are a decent team. They're not a slouch. They're not the Hornets of the past couple of years, but I think the Mavericks are a little bit better of a team, a little bit better of a defense, and I think that will carry them to a victory today. If I had to pick a player prop, Probably Spencer Dinwiddie hits his over in points just to troll us. But I would likely lean towards an under for the Hornets, but there really aren't a lot of lines out at the moment. Now, let's move on to the second game, Lakers versus Wizards. I'd look at LeBron's over in points. If I've looked at something over the past since the All-Star break, I don't think the Lakers have won a game unless LeBron hits his over in points. Now, two of the wins, I think they have 3 wins since the All-Star break. 2 of them he had 50 points, one against the Wizards. And then another game was the last night when Russell Westbrook had hit a shot to go into overtime. LeBron's still 36 points, hitting this over as well. I'd look at the over for LeBron. I mean, he has to score points if they're going to win, and I do think they win today. Now, Westbrook could have a decent game. I mean, did he just bounce back? Maybe he just showed what he's capable of, 22-point triple-double yesterday. Maybe he's going to find a little bit of a groove to end the season with the last 10 to 12 games. Wouldn't really bet on it. We'll see it. I'll have to see it to believe it, but hopefully he finds a little bit of groove because, man, he's getting a lot of hate from a ton of people for our future Hall of Famer. Now, the last game, Pistons versus Cavaliers. Look at Marvin Bagley, points plus rebounds over. Now, likely he will be back to his bench role, but that's kind of fine for me because we've seen opposing centers and both power forwards and centers have great games against them. And if he's on the bench, it likely means he's guarding Kevin Love, which is probably pretty good for him on the defensive side of the ball, or at least on the offense when he's trying to go at Kevin Love and score. I think he has a pretty good game. Sadiq Bey, not a bad look. Garland over in points or assists, or points plus assists, pretty good look. The only way you really stop Garland from hitting the over is if you double team him, and I don't really see the Pistons doing that. The Pistons don't care if they win games. Just like I talked about yesterday with the Blazers, I said I leaned Kevin Durant over in points. Yeah, he hit that easily in the third quarter because they don't care about double teaming him, which is normally the only reason you're going to stop Kevin Durant. So give me the Pistons. Cavaliers are not going to take any of those plays. My 2 official plays of the day, Karl-Anthony Towns, best bet of the day, under 10.5 rebounds, and the Giannis, the Greek Freak, over 44.5 points plus rebounds. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you want to become a COS All-Star, click the join button on the channel or the link in the description or the pinned comment. Let's have a great day. Let's go 2-0. Let's bring out the brooms. A simple and easy day. We got a lot more games on tomorrow. Enjoy March Madness. I don't have any plays for that, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.